What up? 大家好，我是唢呐。Did Will Smith just ruin his entire career? So 你们大部分应该有看过那支影片，对吧？Oh wow! What I find 最有趣是台湾网友跟美国网友的看法完全不一样。So here's the thing, most of the Taiwanese netizens are pretty much standing on Will Smith's side, right? He did the right thing, he stood up for his wife. But most of us Americans are like, man, Will Smith, you's a simp. Chris Rock, you's a boss for still being able to stand up and continue carrying jokes after getting slapped in the fucking face. 那你们可能觉得为什么你们美国人这么那么衰？我跟你讲 This story actually goes a lot deeper than you think. There's a lot of things leading up to this actual slap that you need to know. All right, so Will Smith is huge. He's a huge movie star. He was my hero. He was a generation ahead of me's hero, the generation after me's hero, and he might even be your hero. He's got the perfect family. His wife's a movie star. His kids are rappers and artists, and they're also movie stars. But somewhere around 2020, America pretty much turned its back on Will Smith. You see, Jada Smith has her own TV show called Red Table Talks, where they talk about everything. We're talking about family issues, their kids' sexuality and sexual habits.
I'm the only polyamorous person, and I have the least sex.
And most importantly, about the marital troubles between her and Will Smith. You see, for a while, they were kind of separated, and they had what Jada describes as her being involved in an entanglement.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
Pretty much, she fucked another dude. And she didn't just fuck any dude. She fucked her son's best friend. And then they had the full-on discussion on her show about the details.
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
And as you can see, Will Smith does not seem all happy and excited. So let me paint you a picture. Let's say that your son, who's around 21, 22 years old, he brings over his best friend for dinner. And you guys hang out and you talk and maybe you have a couple of beers and you might even take him to a couple of games. And because he's having family problems and a couple of drug issues, you even help him out. You mentor him, obviously because you're Will Smith. But then the little dude goes and fucks your wife. Or excuse me, he is deeply entangled with your wife.
An entanglement?
Yes.
And then your wife comes to you and says, hey, we need to talk. We need to discuss what happened. And we need to make everything clear. And so that we can heal, we can get over this. But she doesn't do it in the privacy of your own home. She does it on an internationally famous show on Facebook. Now, let's be clear. It's not the fact that she hooked up with somebody else. Because technically, as they both said, they were separated. But it's more about how she did it and what she did afterwards.
I think you expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex.
Right.
It's like, well, if you love me, you should know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If you love me,
you should be able to read my mind.
You should read my mind.
Yeah.
She literally took the man who fought aliens, robots, bad guys, all by himself and turned him from I am legend into I am simp. Shame. And once this episode aired, the internet went crazy. Memes, other people reviewing the videos.
An entanglement
with August. I got into an entanglement with August.
Psychologists reviewing the video.
In that sense, the first question is whether or not Pinkett feels pain or regret about this.
Pretty much dragging Will's name through the mud and calling him a cuck, a simp. In 1 week, the guy who's supposed to be your hero, your idol, the man, turns out to be a punk. You can't even stand up for yourself. Man, we were pissed. After that, America didn't fuck with Will Smith anymore. So now we fast forward to the slap. Now let me give you a little bit of background on the host. Chris Rock is a world famous comedian, but do you know what he's most known for? His ability to roast.
Jada's gonna boycott the Oscars. Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited. Rick Ross gonna be the first rapper to die of breast cancer.
Jennifer Lopez here tonight. She came with 2 limos, one for her, one for her ass. That's right.
When he's on that stage, no one is safe.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Now, the joke he told is actually based on an old movie from the 90s called G.I. Jane, which is about a woman who dares to try to join the Navy SEALs, and she ends up shaving off all her hair. But the problem is that Jada Smith suffers from an autoimmune disorder which causes baldness known as alopecia. And this is where that joke went wrong. He was essentially trolling an involuntary, uncontrollable condition. Although oddly enough, Will Smith was laughing for a part of it, but maybe he was laughing on the outside and crying on the inside. I mean, think of it like this. You are the world's biggest movie star. You're untouchable. And then all of a sudden, your wife drags your name in the public and makes you a punchline, a meme on Reddit and Twitter, and there's nothing you can do. Or anything you could have done, you didn't do. And then you're in a room full of your peers, people who you respect and who respect you, and someone gets on that stage and disses your wife. You're conflicted. This woman kind of ruined your image, but she's also the mother of your beautiful, talented children. So what do? You go up to that stage and all that frustration, all that anger, you take it out in one slap that will be heard around the world.
Oh, wow.
Funny thing is, there's actually a psychological term for this known as displacement. It's when someone takes their anger and their frustration, which was caused by the original source, and redirects it to a smaller, less threatening source. Let's watch that video again.
Oh, wow.
Now, I ain't no psychologist, but from where I sit, that sure looks like displacement to me, bruh. So, this is why we don't really stand with Will Smith. And to be clear, if none of the shit that happened over the past 2 years had gone down and it was just at face value, it was just Chris Rock taking that joke too far, then Will Smith would be the man. He would be the legend. But unfortunately, that shit did happen. So it kind of taints the view of how we see things and what we know to be true. Now I know most of you are thinking, hey, real talk, 如果有一个人跟我老婆讲不好听的话，还是乱讲，还是不尊重，我马上把他敲一拳呢。And I agree with you. Even me, I would do the exact same thing. But at least I'd knock the motherfucker down. I mean, Will Smith, 你比他大，你比他高哎，但是你打的力量好像Now, upon accepting his first Oscar, he did go up on stage and apologize to the Academy, but I don't know if that's really gonna give him a pass. I mean, technically, he did commit a felony of assault on national television, so if Chris Rock wants to, he could sue his ass. But if I'm Chris Rock, I'm going on tour. I'm taking this show on the road, baby. Now having this new information, 你们觉得怎样？你们会站在 Chris Rock 那边，还是站在 Will Smith 那边？ And also, we had a question. 所以有人跟你老婆开房间没问题，但是如果来跟你老婆开玩笑就有问题齁。那如果他边开房间边开玩笑，这样子可以接受吗？ Leave a comment down below. Remember to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace!